Okay, so this is my first time filming in over 4 months. At the end of November, I filmed a whole bunch of content in one day, and then I've just been uploading that same footage for the last 4 months. So no one will have noticed that I was gone, but I was, in fact, gone. I have had OCD, or at least like sort of um, active, well, not maybe not active, but noticeably bad OCD. I think the first time I noticed it really bad was like 2019, 2020. And I had my first sort of like big, I don't know if you call it an OCD flare or an OCD episode. I don't know what you call it, but my first kind of like point where it sort of built and built and built to a point that then my behavior was very weird. It was very difficult to work. It was difficult to be around people. And that happened in 2020. And it was not related to the pandemic. Well, actually, I think the sort of peak of that flare up was like a couple weeks before the pandemic. And actually, it was very helpful actually to be able to work from home because then I could sort of do this kind of crazy OCD flare without everybody looking at me. And back then, when that happened, I did not know it was OCD. In 2019, 2020. And so the things that I tried to do to help myself, many of the things made it worse because I was just trying to like think things through and figure it out. And that's what you shouldn't do with OCD, is that if you're engaging with the thoughts and trying to solve the problems, that is the problem for me anyway, is that I'm having sort of continuous questions in my head like, oh, what did this person mean when they said this, or should I have said that, or do I even remember that correctly? And then you're trying to figure everything out. And yeah, back then I thought that the way to solve it was to like answer all of the questions. I thought, oh, if I can just answer this question, then I'll be okay. And I hadn't understood that it was the answering the question that was causing the problems. So between 2020 and now, so in case you're watching this in the future, it is now 2026. Um, Between then and now, I still like I still have OCD. I think that was one of the and I am diagnosed with OCD, by the way. I had a call with the psychiatrist, and at the end of it, I was like, "Do you think I need another session?" He was like, "No, I think I've got enough from our call to be able to write some notes about you." And then I said, "And do you think that I have OCD?" And he said, "I don't know, maybe you have some tendencies of OCD or something." I don't know what he said. And then I requested the the notes from that sort of diagnostic assessment thing. And then on the end of it, it was like, Sarah clearly is suffering from severe obsessive compulsive disorder. And I was like, why didn't he just tell me that? Um, Anyway, so normally it's kind of under control, and I think I was about to say that like one of the sort of biggest bits in the journey is actually the acceptance that you're probably always going to have it to some degree. And because a lot in the beginning it's about like, oh, how do I get rid of this? I need to get rid of this and get better. And eventually, well, at least for me, I just realized, oh, I'm always going to be like a bit like this. I'm always going to have a tendency for this. It's probably going to come back in various ways, and whatever. So this was the first time that I had like a big flare up. Where I knew that it was OCD. So that was interesting because I think it helped a bit. It was different from my previous flare up. And to be honest, as I said, it's not over. I mean, I think it's been about like 4 months. That's been like quite bad. And yeah, so I don't know how much I want to say about it, because part of what my OCD does is it attacks like my, I don't know if legitimacy is the right word, I don't know, but basically my OCD tells me that I am like an overreacting performing drama queen, in terms of like emotions and in terms of my feelings and my needs and my beliefs or whatever. So to put out a video, which is what I'm doing, what you're watching, to put out a video on the internet saying I had this OCD that was triggered by apparently what was a large event in my life. To do that is actually very difficult because my OCD is like, you're a fraud. Like, luckily, it's kind of a bit quiet as I'm filming right now, but like the things that my OCD would want to tell me in this moment is I'm a fraud. I'm performing. I'm pretending. I have everything out of proportion. Basically, it like emotionally invalidates me. So it will start off with like, are my feelings even real? So it'll be like, oh, I have this feeling. I think I'm sad. No, you're not sad. This isn't sadness. You're just performing. You're making it up. You know, you're. This isn't really sadness. This is just you. Oh well, that's the next bit. So the first step is like my emotions don't exist, like something like that. Then if I think, oh, my emotions do exist, then the next step is my emotions are based on a misunderstanding. So if I do get to the point of I am sad, the next bit will be, well, you're sad because you misunderstand the situation. And if you could only just like replay all of the little bits of the situation, then you would see that you are wrong to be sad, right? And and yeah, good luck with that because your OCD will never ever be satisfied that you understand correctly. I will never be satisfied that my feeling is actually sadness. Like, how do I know if it's sadness? What does sadness feel like? Anyway, and then if I manage to get through, so like, okay, yes, I do actually feel sad, and it's based on this understanding that I have of the situation. And okay, I know my understanding is not perfect, but I've accounted for that. Um, then the next stage will be, well, I'm wrong for feeling sad about that. Like, well, you shouldn't feel sad about that. Other people wouldn't feel sad about that. And then the OCD is instead some sort of search to prove that it's fine for me to feel whatever emotion I feel about whatever situation I feel about. So that's fun. So then you're like searching for sort of proof that you're allowed to feel how you feel. Good luck with that. If I manage to get that to shut up, then the next thing will be, okay, well, I believe you. You have this emotion about this thing that you think that you understand. Um, and what was the one after that? Yeah. So is the emotion real? Oh, it's based on a misunderstanding. Oh, you're not allowed to feel that way. And then the next step is, well, apparently you do feel that way, even though you shouldn't, right? So then that's like a massive attack because then that's like, oh, I'm delusional, I'm broken, there's something different and wrong with me. And then that's some lovely OCD kind of crazy thoughts that you can have about, like, I even agree with you that I am apparently being over the top, but I can't change it, so I'm just stuck like this, even though I hate myself. So that's great. Um, I'm saying all of this in an incredibly, I just realized when I just went, that's great. Like, this is, I'm super intellectualizing right now. I've just realized that. And I'm also completely dismissing, like, probably, like, actually, this is like one of the worst things that's ever happened to me, this experience. And I'm explaining it to you like it's so funny and I'm smiling, which I think actually is a sign of the fact that like I've not solved everything yet. I'm not gonna solve everything, so whatever. Um yeah, so then that's probably the final stage is like, oh, well, like, um, I've now spent 4 months trying to change like how I think about this or trying to challenge my feelings and it hasn't gone away. So it means I'm stuck with it and I'm just, I'm broken and wrong and delusional and all these things. And so that's what my OCD does. So making this video and being like, oh, I think I'm going through a tough time. Um, is really actually quite difficult for me because my brain wants to tell me that I'm being a massive drama queen. But actually, if you look at it, um, I'm making this video because my value is authenticity. I've actually barely said anything about my actual situation, and it's 4 months later. It's not like the moment that I started having problem well, that even that wouldn't be an issue, but, like, there's really nothing in my behavior at all that suggests that I am pretending. Or, like, it's like, "I don't know, Sarah, like, you could barely sleep or eat for, like, several months. Was that pretending? When you tried to brush your teeth, every time you brush your teeth, you kept throwing up, and that was very inconvenient and awful and horrible for you. were you making that up? I don't know. Maybe something really bad happened. Like, I don't know. So that's my life. And yeah, I think I don't know if I said too much. I have no idea if this video is of any value, but I'm just here now and I'm going to just be myself, and I will probably talk more in the future about different things. So it's been like a massive journey. I know I've like this understand like even this understanding that I've just said to you about these sort of different levels of how it attacks me. I didn't have that. That's an understanding that's only come through going through this. Um and yeah, so I've been on some sort of like, it was changing a lot. It was changing a lot. Uh, yeah, I think I will talk about this more in future about what things triggered the OCD and stuff like that. Probably I will mention it. I will mention it, but like just not today. Um, so yeah, what I want to talk about then, so if you stumbled across my channel somehow and made it to this point in the video, wow, hello. Um, what I actually do on my channel, what I was doing on my channel, what I am doing on my channel, what I'm still doing on my channel, what I intend to do on my channel, shut up, Sarah, um, is to talk about my imaginary world and my stories and my paracosm. And maybe that's a new concept to you, but basically, since I was a child, I've had this imaginary world which is based on my stuffed toy Chutney, and that's why my channel is called Sarah and Chutney, because this is Sarah and this is Chutney, right? And I'm going to talk, probably not in this video, but in some video in a moment, about how this experience has changed my relationship with my paracosm. If that's available, you can click on it and go watch it now, because I'm going to film it now. If it's not, then you'll see it. You can subscribe, and it shouldn't be long before that video is uploaded. It's okay. Thanks for listening to my update. I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.